Because it is today.
Positive things we can do, or what ways, I don't know, are you intention setting?
I know.
We're live.
We are live on YouTube.
We're live. Okay.
So what if we let in these? Do you want to go ahead and let everybody in?
Yep. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Let's see.
Hello.
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 We're here.
Hello.
Hi.
Wow, we can unmute this time, Soren. Amazing.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
Watch yourself.
That's what we're supposed to be doing all the time.
Yeah, usually it's actually really sweet to let people come on and just say hello and connect. Sometimes
Yes.
too many people, it gets a little cumbersome, but what it looks like there's 40 of us, so that's not too big a group.
500 last time.
Yeah,
we had over 1,000.
Wow.
Soren, thank you so much for creating this and helping everyone just hold a heart space on this day, because it feels like that's really helpful to have that around the world.
Thank you. For me, I'm doing it partly selfishly, because when I thought about this day and I thought, oh, I'm just going to be home by myself or with friends, like watching the news hour after hour, like it just felt like it would be really cool to connect with my own heart and myself, and then also connect with all of you and just kind of hold the space together. So I'm really glad that you and others decided to hang out together and turn off CNN or whatever cable network it is we watch for an hour and just kind of be together as a community. So I'm super excited. I'm here with Annie, who's kind of overseeing our Vote Kindness efforts this year. And,
Annie.
Hi, Annie.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
You guys are like family now.
Yeah.
Hi.
I see things I know. Hi.
Can we be enough family that I can show how I'm nurturing myself, I guess?
Hi, Christina.
Oh,
Oh, Tina.
that's great. Good for
Love
you.
you.
I decided to, I felt so inspired by Sharon's, when she was talking about may we love each other. There was so much kindness and compassion meditation towards myself that I went to a bathtub and I asked my son for his mask, and I'm here. So
great.
this is family, Annie. Thank you, Soren. Thank you, Annie. Thank you,
Christina.
You are showing up as you are.
Love you, Christina.
here as I am.
I'm taking a picture of you.
I did phone thank you the whole morning yesterday. So I'm just like, today I'm going to enjoy this. So thank you. Now, seriously, thank you so much for this.
Yeah, so part of the vision that happened with this was, again, knowing that this is a big day, and there'll be news kind of appearing to us throughout the day, and that it's also really good time to be able to connect. And those connections kind of are in similar, or in a number of different dimensions. One of those means, what is it like to connect with ourselves and our own mind, body, and heart? And Sharon, I thought, led a really beautiful talk and loving kindness meditation today that like helped kind of guide us into that heart space. And I do feel like there's a frequency that we can hold that helps to impact the rest of the field. So, if we're living from our heart and holding that space, that impacts our friends, our family, our house, our area. And if we're all doing that across the world, that impacts the world in some way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so part of my interest today was like, can we all come together, who's ever drawn, and just kind of hold this space of heartfulness with ourselves and with others. And so kind of how it emerged is there was a talk this morning, and we'll send a link if you missed it, by Sharon Salzberg with the meditation. And then we have this session, which I'll talk a little bit more about. And then at 6 p.m. we have Jack Kornfield coming on. I did ask Jon Kabat-Zinn if he wanted to do something, and he was like, I think I'll just chill out today and be not in this digital world as much. So I did ask John and asked Rhonda McGee and a few other people, and some people just wanted to spend the day not doing this. So that was fine, but they were asked. But John and Sharon said yes. So Jack and Sharon said yes. So Jack will be on here at 6, and we'll do another talk and another meditation. And then my vision for this was, while it's great to learn from Sharon and Jack and others, it's also really great to learn from each other. And can we come together and do some breakout groups, which we'll break up into soon, and just kind of tune in and share kind of where our heart is today. What are we hopeful about? What are we afraid about? Where is our mind, body, and heart on this day? At least it's not like it's an impactful day potentially in terms of what happens today, not just in the US, but across the globe. And so if you're from the US, wonderful, you're totally welcome. If you're not from the US, totally welcome. It's all about being a human being and sharing what's alive for us and what's real for us and what's true for us from that heart space that we talked about. And hopefully we can kind of get to know each other a little bit, or get this sense of being together with something. I think one of the big challenges of COVID and life in general and technology is often technology kind of can make us feel more alone. And the fact that we can't hug people and talk to people as easily, like we're easily kind of then create this little shell around ourselves. And I know some friends who live by themselves and basically don't see or touch anybody for a long time. And so can we use the best we have, which are these Zoom sessions, to develop authentic connection and authentic sharing? And so we're going to do that today. And there's no special requirements you need. There's no special skills you need. There's nothing special that's required of you except to kind of listen from your heart and speak from your heart. And try to be aware of how much time you're taking and how much time is left in the group. So my idea would be we would start by having each person talk for about 4 minutes about what's alive and true and real for them right now. And then you'll break up into these groups and have a conversation. And then if there's time, I'd like to bring us all back and share. And I'd like to kind of break up into a second series of groups. So today, potentially you would get to meet, 6 or 7 people that maybe you didn't know before, or maybe there's somebody that you actually know who happens to be here today, and you get to spend time with that person. And again, rather than kind of the chit chat that can easily fill space and fill times and talking about whatever, we really want to stick with the heart space. We really want to stick with what's true and what's real for us. And then also listen with that same level of respect, listen with an open heart and an open mind, and really receive that person as best you can, receive their words, receive the feeling behind their words, receive kind of the quality of their beingness, if you will. So to whatever extent you can, see if we can really receive each other. And then we'll kind of go from there. We didn't plan this out too much, as you could probably tell. It's a bit of a kind of unfolding wave. That there was this intention to kind of hang out today and be together this day. So it could be that who knows what can emerge part in the second half of the day. But my hope would be that we would have kind of authentic connection, and people could feel like, even if I don't have anybody to talk to in my family, or don't have anybody to connect with, like, we can come here and we can connect, and we can, at least for this moment, receive each other, hear each other, make space for each other, witness each other, and kind of be together in this day. So that's all I have to say. And if you don't feel like sharing much, you can speak very few words. You can also pass and just say, you know what, I don't really have much to say, but I'm happy to offer my presence, to the small group. So just feel like we're here to know what's true and what's real for you. So don't feel like you have to say more or less kind of based on that. I will ask that somebody just keep track. So at 4 minutes, they can move to the next person, move to the next person. And then there'll be some time at the end just to kind of talk amongst your groups more freely. Any questions before we move into this? You can raise your hand. You can start talking.
Are you going to lead us in some kind of collective pause or reflection or meditation before we go into the groups?
I wasn't planning on, but what if we do that for about 60 seconds?
Well, I would love it, and I'd love it for more like 5 minutes.
All right, well, we have meditations that Jack and Sharon are doing that are longer. And
No, I know, I was there.
Yeah, so that's kind of, this is not quite.
This is not that, okay.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm happy to do it for a little bit, but this is more for connection between each other. But I'm happy to invite all of us to take a moment and just connect with our own mind, body, and heart. And you can lower your gaze, or you can close your eyes, or you can just keep your eyes open. And one of the beautiful things to kind of ask, I think sometimes, is what's the difference between meditation and waking life? And there is really no separation. We're just here and awake. And when we might close our eyes, there's less sensory input into our system, but we're basically still breathing. Consciousness is still, awareness is still present. And so take a moment and see if you can bring some of that consciousness or some of that awareness into your mind and your body and your heart right now. And without any judgment or without any thinking you should be different or you should be otherwise, just see how's your heart in this moment. And do it from a real sweet inquiry, like you might see like a very kind grandmother would ask, honey, how's your heart doing right now? So it's not so much a stern voice, but it's just a sweet, curious voice. And just see what response emerges as you ask that question. And as you do, I'm going to ask you to just reflect that there's 171 of us also in this Zoom call right now, and that they too share some of these same fears, same hopes, same wishes that you wish for, or that you experience, and that we're now going to get a time to connect to these humans. So you can open up your eyes or look up from your gaze and realize like we are more alike than we are different, no matter what we have going on with us. And we have the opportunity to just connect and to see if we can share what's true and what's real for us. So that's my hope for the next 20 or 30 minutes, and then we'll come back, and then hopefully there'll be time to break up into a second group. So in a moment, you're going to see a little option to sign on and join a group. And then my only request is that somebody then just set the timer. So in 4 minutes, everybody has 4 minutes to speak. And then we'll come back here as a larger community. All right, so here we go. If you're on YouTube, Annie, did we post on YouTube to join us here? Okay. If you're on YouTube, we can't break you up into a group. So if you're watching this on YouTube, the technology does not do that. So you have to look in the comments and follow the link to the Zoom, and you can meet us here in Zoom. All right, and we're going to do it to about, let's see, 4 people. We're shooting for 4 people to a group. So let's see.
I'm on Zoom.
All right, so you'll see an option to join a group in a second, and you just click yes, and you will be suddenly appear with some other people. And we'll see you soon. All right, so if you're here, I see there's a few people who signed in kind of late, so I'm just seeing if I can assign you. Let's see. Mr. Bruce, did you get your invitation?
I did.
Okay, it doesn't look like you clicked it.
Where do I do that?
It should be lower right on your screen, I believe.
Um,
Should say join. You should be invited to join group.
Yeah, can you redo that one? Actually, I'll just wait out the group and just join afterward.
Oh, I'm putting people in. You're not late at all.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I still see people meandering in. I'm putting them in all the time. So you should be good.
Okay, can you resend that join group?
What group does it say to go to?
I don't see it. I don't have it here.
All right, I gotta find then. Let's see where you are. Where did you see yours, Annie?
I see it's just a pop up on the screen right in front of my face.
Are you on an iPad, Bruce?
No, I'm on my desktop.
I think what might be easy is if you just sign on and sign back in, you'll come up in my unassigned, and then I can
Okay,
sign
so
in.
quit and then come back in.
Yeah.
Okay, see what happens.
All right. Can you see all this stuff, Annie, or no?
I
You
am.
see all the.
I can see some of it. I'm sort of going back, toggling back and forth, sending the link around.
Okay.
People are trying to get in. It's fun.
Yeah, this is the thing.
It's okay. No one
This
link.
is the thing that makes this challenging is if everybody shows up at the same time, it totally can work. But so what I do is I assign all the late comers to different rooms.
Yeah.
So if somebody's asking me for help, I'll be right.
Saying the link isn't working. I'm going to keep trying to post it. Hang on.
I got kicked out of my group.
Oh no. You need to wait for Thorin to come back. He's rescuing somebody right now.
Okay, well, I need rescuing too.
Hi, Carol. How are you? I'm Annie.
Hi, Annie.
I'm helping out with the Vote Kindness part of Wisdom 2.0. It's an initiative we're doing for today and onward. But I'm also helping bring people in from YouTube. Did you come over from YouTube?
No, I came over. I was in a group on Zoom, but
Okay. Sorry about that. But we can chat while we wait. How's everybody doing?
I'm not into just chat. Unfortunately, I was listening and
Well, we need to hold. I can't do anything on my side about that. So you just got to hang, Carol. That's all right.
all right, I'll just hang
Cool.
and we'll miss what people are saying. So that's just the way it is.
Technology is a bummer sometimes, but we all got to do our best, right?
Right. So what are you doing with voter protection? Didn't you say you were doing something with voter protection?
No, I am. I am helping Haley and Soren with an initiative that Wisdom 2.0 started about 5 months ago called Vote Kindness. It's about
Oh, vote kindness.
yeah,
Okay.
encouraging kind, strong, character-driven, quality-driven leadership. And it's been, we have a YouTube group, a Facebook group called Vote Kindness. If you guys are curious, come on over and check it out. And Soren came up with this idea early in the year, and we implemented it in the spring. So it's been a hoot. It's been interesting. And this is sort of part of the work that we've been doing, is hosting these beautiful gatherings today. Did anybody come over from YouTube? Is that link working? No, I don't know.
All right. Somebody got knocked off.
Yeah, I did.
Carol did.
What room were you in, Carol?
I think 5.
Okay. Oh, there's a bunch of people here now.
Yeah, they're coming over. But they can go into subsequent groups or just hang here with us for now, Soren.
They might be able to, but what happens is they don't, once I set up groups, they don't let me create new groups.
Oh,
Can I join? Should I?
Yeah, Carol, I just sent you over to 5,
Okay, great.
but we might have to just do our own group here.
yeah, because people are coming in. I was just explaining Vote Kindness to everybody, Soren, while I was also.
Good job. Also, pictures? All right, let's see. Yeah, all these groups actually look pretty full. I didn't realize so many people would be on YouTube.
Yeah, let's see. We have about.
So YouTube can just see us now.
85 people. But people are coming over, Soren, right now. They're still coming in.
All right, we'll roll with it.
Yeah, we'll roll with it. I think that's the lesson for today, isn't it? We're just rolling with it. We're flexible.
Hey, Tomas. I think we might just need to make a group here. Now it looks like all the groups are full. Tomas, what time is it in Germany?
Now 9:20.
Oh, okay. So not too late.
No, it's all right.
All right.
Good to see
So it's good to see you. It looks like we might just form our own group here because all the groups are full and people just kind of keep coming back. So you should be able to see if you go to gallery view. I see Annie, myself, Arlene, Perry and Thomas, Paul, Jean, James. So sorry we can't break you up into your own group right now because the groups are full, but we can just create our own group here. It's cool to see so many guys. We often have, sometimes the groups will be like 90% women or something. Yeah, does somebody want to begin? We're just kind of talking about how we're doing today, kind of our hopes, our fears for the world, and kind of what's real and true for us right now in our lives. So if anybody wants to jump in, James, would you like to begin? Let's see. No, I have to ask you to unmute.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, yeah.
Great. So yeah, I'm observing from Toronto, but I guess I'm interested to see how people are feeling about today and how they're processing it. And I'm, I guess, feeling that hopefully people will be kind to each other, thoughtful, that people won't be pounding their chest after the result, that people will be willing to listen to each other and maybe be conciliatory to each other and have an open space for different opinions. And this can be a peaceful time rather than a nervous and, shall we say, anxious time.
Cool, thank you. All right, anybody else want to jump in? We're just creating our own group here because the group's got full. So yeah, Paul, raising your hand. Let's see, I don't think, I'm going to ask you to unmute, Paul. There we go, you're unmuted.
All right, I'm another Canadian watching from the West Coast. This election is not just for Americans, of course, it's for everybody. And I hope and I wish that Americans can find a peaceful way to live together through this vote and after this vote. And I pray that America will be calm and peaceful and become a leader of the world once again. So my thoughts are with Americans today, and I wish you all well and peace.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else want to jump in? Feel free. Amir, any thoughts?
Yeah, hi, thanks for doing this. And this morning's, this morning's session with Sharon, just being compassionate doesn't mean that we don't, show up for the fight. And of course, we don't want anyone pounding their chest, but that's, it's very, very hard to stay, I mean, there's no comparison really between the approach. Anyway, so I'm just grateful that you're here, Soren, for putting us all together, and I'm hoping that we will get to do a bit of meditation with you today, right now, because I think that's what's gonna help get me to the end of this day. So, love to all. Thank you.
Thank you, Amir. Anybody else want to share thoughts, prayers, blessings, concerns?
Do we have anything for? We did it. Oh, great. This morning.
I think one of the interesting things about I'm just going to mute. One of the interesting things I think about this time that we live in is I grew up where I was just used to a certain normalcy of elections and fairness and things. And this is the first election where I've been in my life where I don't know if one person loses, whether they'll give up the seat or whether they'll fight that, And so one of the things I've realized is like some people have grown up their entire lives in countries where one person will not give power away to another person, and where instability is kind of like the norm, right? Like coups and violence, and so I feel like I get part of what I feel like I'd always expected America to uphold a certain standard of behavior and etiquette and democracy, and this is the first election that I feel like, wow, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if I hope it happens, but I don't know if that's not some assumed result anymore. And so I'm living with that. And I'm also living with the fact that I've made friends, like I'm seeing Thomas and others throughout the international group of people now that are kind of have come together through their world, who I feel like I've so connected with, and I don't see myself necessarily as just an American. I see myself as like a global citizen, and that there's a rise of people globally who really want to move forward in a way that's loving, in a way that's caring, and in a way that's powerful, and in a way that's meaningful. And so I do think, as crazy as these times are, they are kind of pushing us together in a way that I really, really appreciate. It's like we're kind of having to stand together more than we would when everything was just kind of easy and nice. And I do feel like there's an international movement afoot that I'm really excited to see and to know how to support. It's like we can't rely on the United States as leaders, even no matter what happens with the election. We need people leaders. We need people coming together who are empowered and who create things, I think, that are joining us in our union and in our commonality. So I live both between this fear of what's going to happen with the possibility of one person not leaving or inciting violence or something. And then I also live with this fact that like so much good-heartedness exists in the world, and so many amazing people that just inspire me also really exist in the world. And I've been so lucky the last couple months and couple years to just meet people across the world who just are, to me, so inspiring. So that's me. If anybody wants to jump in, feel free to jump in.
Christina, are you there?
Let's see.
I see her name.
I don't see her. Okay, go ahead, Annie.
Well, I just wanted to say, and I love what you just said, Soren, and also just from the microspace of our little families, that I have a bunch of teenagers, and we generally don't sit down and have the time to talk about some of this stuff. And we've been having to really sit down and hash through a lot of this in a way that, normally mom wouldn't be a part of the convo. So, so we've been sort of forced to talk through it from a micro system all the way out to the macro system that Soren was just talking about. So it is bringing out some beauty amongst the anxiety and angst and anger and all the other stuff. So I do appreciate that as well. There are some silver linings to some of this. And I've also noticed, last night, a lot of people were really, really anxious. And I feel like today people are actually doing better. I don't know. That's my general sense of the tone. Does anybody else think here?
Hi, this is Laura. I'm actually a psychology professor at USC, and I teach a course in contemplative neuroscience for 15 freshmen. And this morning in our class, I put up a little word cloud and I asked them how they were feeling. And of course, at 9:30 in the morning, the most popular word was hungry. But then after that, I was surprised. I thought it would be all very negative. And there was certainly some of that, but there was a lot of kind of scared, nervous, impatient, excited. But they also said peaceful. And we talked about how difficult uncertainty can be, and that we could at least look forward to having some certainty, perhaps, that we'd get some results and at least we would know now what we have to deal with. And they all just seemed very eager, a little nervous, but they seemed positive and just wanting to get through this and see what it is. And of course, because we're studying meditation and it's new for them, they're 18, 19 years old, they feel like they have some tools of, we talked about being present and just accepting things as they are. So it's a very small group, but anyway, I could just tell you that's what 19-year-olds were feeling like this morning, hungry.
Classic.
So maybe they were in the present.
Well, I definitely know that once we got to today, I was a little more relaxed just because I had no idea what was going to be thrown out the last few days before an election, and just in terms of chaos, and things have been relatively calm. Any other thoughts while we're here? And if you're joining us late, we're just all checking in with each other and sharing about what we're noticing on this day, and hopes and dreams and fears, and kind of how we're doing and how we see the world.
And we still have people coming in, Soren, just FYI.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Soren, hi, this is Thomas. We are joining from Germany, and it's kind of also a special day for us watching that from Europe. And since the retreat with John, we have made so many connections also with people around the world, and also people from the US. And we have been also feeling from Europe that something has been building up, right? And this was besides the pandemic. These elections are a major thing in the past months, right? And this now comes to a closure. And I myself, I feel excited, but also pretty much in the unknown. And this is kind of the theme which John has been teaching us so intensely during the 13-week retreat. So yeah, it's really interesting to feel it in the body, or really sense where and what does the unknown really do to you. And so I'm in my heart, right? I mean, we are really with America, with the US, with those elections, and we are really hoping that things will turn out well while still being in the unknown.
Thank you.
Also, Søren, thank you so much. Also, let's say for all what you've been doing in the past months, right? I think that Vote Kindness initiative is really so great, and it's really such a profound thing to, I think, reflect of what was going on there, right? And trying to help, give people room to give their voices, and also help to make that a better situation while always being in the unknown. So
that's beautiful.
Thank you for that, and also for this event today.
Okay. And I don't know when Germany's next election is, but you can take the Vote Kindness. It's a free and open idea across the world. And I appreciate the global. I'm really glad people from other countries joined today. It feels really good to me just to like that we're like one family. Like we can have borders and things that people create and call us, you're this and you're that, but like I really love that people from different parts of the world are here, like you, Thomas, and others. It feels like we impact each other, and we all kind of need to come together too and hold spaces for things. And so thank you for taking the time to just kind of sit with us all in this unknown together. And thank you. All right, I see some more people here. Midge. Is that pronounce your name right? Shannon, Lainey, Norma, anything you want to add? Kathy or Candy?
I wanted to add something. My name is Eileen. I'm from Southern California, and we had our southern neighbor from Mexico in our group, and we had such a good time. And we were waiting for a sign that said return to breakout room, so we went overtime in our room.
Oh, actually, I'm supposed to close the great rooms. Sorry, I never close the room, so you're good.
Well, somebody mentioned that there was a little icon that said leave room. So we're back together, but it reminds me that even when we were apart in our breakout room, we were one. We're all one.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else share some thoughts, feelings, emotions?
Yes, I'm Norma.
Hi, Norma.
Hi, thank you for this opportunity of being here. I met with you with Perry and some and some else in the past months with John Kabat-Zinn, the long meditations, and I'm from Mexico City. I wanted to be here with you. Thank you for the invitation, just to share with you what you are living now. Because as when I told the three wonderful women I joined in the small group, everything that happens in the United States, everything affects us in Mexico. This is the situation. So I feel as nervous as you, and I feel you are feeling.
Thank you.
I wish you the best.
Thank you. Well, we're all very interconnected, and what happens in any country impacts all the other countries. So I definitely feel like, yeah, we need to all stick together as a globe. The U.S. is particularly impactful, but every place has impact.
Yes, yes, thank you. And just sharing everything else as what you are saying now. Yes, everything that happens in the world. I want to share with you. I have a daughter of mine living in Austria, and what happens in Austria or in Germany with her affect us, of course, also. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
you
we
so
have
much.
seen, I mean, throughout human history, we've seen all kinds of leaders. Some leaders that want to be dictators and take control and power, and then some
Yes.
leaders that are much more collaborative and welcoming. And I hope that we can all work together to support leaders that can actually
Yes.
bring us together.
Yes, and even, for example, the US and Mexico, even we have different roots. We share, we share the same history.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Thoughts, reflections?
Can I?
Hey, Candy?
Hi, yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Candy.
Thank you so much for doing this. It's just been wonderful to have this space to come in on a day like today to share our feelings and to kind of relax a little bit. One of my biggest concerns right now is that I see that we are so divided. I see it every day. I live in a very small community and you see it all over. You know, people in my area have been destroying all the Biden signs. I mean, regardless of how many signs you put aside, they've been destroying them. And it's just, you can feel like almost, I don't even want to say the word hate, but you can almost feel the devices. And I just don't know how we're going to get together again. It's just so difficult to wrap that around my head because I just see that there's so much animosity. You know, there's been all these caravans around our area and the things that they say it's just really uncomfortable. I don't know how to move forward with this. It's just, I'm almost like afraid to go out sometimes because it's just such animosity. It's just, it's very disturbing to see that happening in our country, you know, because I feel that it has nothing to do with ideology at this point, you know, because we all have different thoughts and we should. Different ideals. It's beyond that.
Yeah. What part of the country do you live in, if I can ask?
I live in Pennsylvania, in a very rural area, northeast Pennsylvania, right on the corner of Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey. It's a little small town called Shahola. You know, my husband and I retired like 5 years ago, and we moved here. You know, I lived in New Jersey, and I worked in the city. You know, for 25 years. So it's very unnerving.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry that that's the situation, but I think that's true for more and more people. Is there is this sense of division. And like in the past, you know, when I would go, we would play soccer together, basketball with other parents and families. We thought politically differently than a lot of those families, but it didn't matter really, right? We would
Exactly, it didn't matter.
We were still American, still decency, and yeah, I'm with you that it's really sad when that erodes or that does not happen.
No, it's very sad. Yeah. Just have to do our best moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Other thoughts, reflections? I can't see everybody, so because there's a number of pages here.
I would love to say something. Are you able to hear me?
Who's speaking?
Hello? This is Diane. I'm sorry I'm not on video. And I just had a quote that flashed in my mind that I wanted to offer. I don't remember whose it is. Maybe it's James Baldwin. You know, an enemy is just someone whose story we have not yet heard. It is a really beautiful mantra that I play in my head and my heart all the time. So that's one piece. And the other is I'm just kind of studying the power of leadership, for better or for worse, and to realize that the possibility is really there, right? Look at how leadership has divided us. It's possible, you know, what's possible? Just like the direction of mind, for better or for worse, right? What we pay attention to changes us. So I'm excited about that.
Great, thank you. Thank you. I see
May I
Judy
say
have your hand
something?
up too. Let's see. Let me just get to Judy here. Let's see, Judy, did you have your hand up to say something?
I just wanted to say a couple of things because I heard people talking about coming from different countries and feeling like whatever's happening in the US, whatever happens today, whatever the result is, will affect the whole world. So we're all with you. And I've been feeling really deeply today, yesterday. I was saying in my small group, it's my son's birthday today, one of my very close cousins' birthday. So it's a very meaningful day anyway, but it's the US election day. And in response to what our last speaker was saying, was it Candy? And all that hatred and all that divisiveness that's gone on, and it's been created. You know, some people naturally look for blame, and you know, we can't help this pandemic, and that is making people look outward to say, why is this here, and look for somebody to point the finger at and say, as if some person brought this virus and has imposed it upon us. And that's being whipped up, I think, in many ways by some of those people in power. And of course, you've had your media controlled for such a long time now that people are being brainwashed to believe certain things. But I just want to say our experience here in Britain, having gone through Brexit, which is still in a process which still isn't resolved and is in a real mess. And when you were speaking about the divide, I really felt that identification, because our family divided, our friendships broke up because of Brexit. And yet now, as we're moving into that transition, people are beginning to let go, and it's not such a divide anymore. And I think, the pandemic came afterwards, and that brought a lot of people together. Communities really have come together. And look at what we have here. Look at what you've created, Soren. I think, don't give up is what I'm saying. Don't despair too much. Change will come, and good change will come. And I'm not being a Pollyanna. I've seen it. So, yeah, don't give up hope.
Thank you. It reminds me of, there was a quote, let's see, Native American, I don't know if it's actually Native American, but the quote was that traditional medicine often tries to make you how you were before. So if you get sick, they try to make you how you were before. And that native medicine tries to make you even better. That the challenges you're going through can make you actually better than what you were before. So it's not trying to get back to some time, it's actually trying to move forward and say, how do we now grow as a global world in a thoughtful way together? And maybe some of these recent developments in recent years are igniting us in that direction that otherwise we would not have done had things been differently. So I do think it's kind of a somewhat exciting time to look at a possible future where we're brought together and that people kind of begin to stand together more.
Absolutely.
Because we have to. I can't say for sure what's going to happen, but I'd like to think that's one of the possibilities out there. Yeah. Let's see, other people, you can raise your hand and I can grab you pretty easy. I think it looks like Susan has her hand raised.
Yes, I do. And I just remembered how to do that on Zoom. And Soren, I want to say two things that are interconnected. But first, how grateful I am for you to bringing us back together. And that when I began participating in John's retreat that you organized, I had just come back into the country, and it was very difficult for me to be here. I didn't know how it would be possible. And I'd come back because of COVID. And while I may leave again and come back and forth, what I got deeply from that time that relates to one other comment now is this sense of being able to be part of a community and choose the direction maybe in a way that gave me a faith in a broader sense of awareness and movement towards loving kindness, that it may be geological time. You know, I don't know. Think about, it took 3 generations of women to bring voting to women in the US. But I feel okay now about being part of the accretion of love and generosity, that it may not break surface in my life, but I now feel like, and I don't hold on to this feeling because what's happening scares the hell out of me, and for other people, for myself, but this sense now of having a broader group to share that feeling with, to share our motivation, and a sense that within the time when you draw strength from what others have suffered before and have brought into the world our benefit, from the physician who discovered germ theory, who was hounded out and mercilessly on, that we can move forward. I don't know how yet. How water finds the way is, kind of the gist of it, I guess.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I love the fact that, just like COVID brought us all together with John for those 3 months, which was so powerful. Certain other things bring us together. And I don't know either, but this could be a really interesting time for all of us to find ways of connecting and find ways of learning and gather and kind of help set this next vision that's global. Right. And so maybe there's ways that we can do that going forward, even in the not knowing. I think Thomas was saying that earlier, like he can be with the not knowing, which is great. And we can also make actions at the same time that seem to make sense to us.
Yes.
Like this just made sense to me, like, oh, let's gather today. I have no idea what we're going to talk about per se, but I figured it would be a positive, it would be one small little positive drop in this big, huge game of life.
Right.
And
Can I say just one more thing? Because it has to do with what people have said about the fear we're experiencing and the oppression. And I just want to say how much I appreciate your and John and Will's commitment to social justice and inclusion, because what we are experiencing now, people of color have experienced in terms of voter suppression, being lynched, being killed, having mobs after them for, since they had the vote. And so I just wanted to bring that to our attention, and Soren, to speak to what you have brought to us through an awareness of that. And may we continue to learn from that in terms of solidarity and strength. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, and there's still a lot to do. Marilyn, we just have a few minutes, but do you want to jump here and share what's alive for you right now? Let's see. I think, are you? We can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
We got you live and clear.
Okay, I'm reading this book and it's called Heart Talk. And I thought to close it out, I'll read a short poem, and it says, where to find it. Keep looking for goodness. Keep asking everyone, where could I find the good in the world? It was not until I looked within and grew my own goodness that I began to see it everywhere. So I just want to close out and say that the goodness that we're all searching for in the world, it starts within each and every one of us.
Beautiful.
And it's awareness.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. Wow.
What is your name? What is your name?
Marilyn.
Hi, I just am so touched by what you said.
Yes, and it's true. It starts within.
Yeah. I wanted to respond to what was said earlier about being in fear for what might be coming or what might be happening out there, and then someone else mentioned choice, and I think the choice is always ours how we're going to respond to any situation. And I have certainly struggled over the last 4 years with a lot of negative emotions around things happening politically and culturally in our country. But my choice is always to have compassion, because I know other people are just as fearful as I am, and we want the best for each other. And to choose to be here today with each other in this moment is adding to the positivity of what's happening in this country. And so I'm so grateful for this Sangha. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to choose to be present in this moment to what's happening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we're just about at that time. So come back if you're not supposed to be sleeping at 6 p.m. Let's see, Pacific Standard Time. I know, again, apologies for those of you in Europe. I know that's a really tough time to be awake. But for those of you who can be awake at that time, we'll have our last session of the day with Jack Cornfield. And then let's see how this all evolves. Maybe we'll have more of these regularly, or we'll have more of these.
That would be great.
I have no idea what's the next chapter looks like, but I'm committed to learning with everyone and committed to doing whatever I can do. So hopefully this will be the last we connect.
That would be wonderful.
So thank you. Thank you very much for everyone.
Thank you all. So if you go to gallery view, we can unmute ourselves and just say some blessings and goodbyes and thank yous and
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank
And thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Bye.
Danke schön aus Deutschland. Ciao.
Obrigada. Tchau, obrigada. Tchau. Tchau. Tchau.